So if you are a remodeler trying to land more jobs and close more deals, I want to show you the single biggest lever that you can pull to stop hearing "let me think about it" and start getting people to sign contracts and pay deposits. Now, this is going to be particularly relevant as we head into the holidays because you're going to start getting a lot more people saying, "We'll wait until the new year, we're too busy right now, we need to see how our taxes shake out first," all of that sort of stuff. So in this video, I'm going to give you 7 practical offer tools that you can use to turn those exact objections into the reasons that people move forward so that you can close more deals and bigger deals without having to add any extra operational chaos. Now, a little bit about me. My name's Oliver Sharp. I run a company called Sharp Growth, and we help kitchen and bathroom remodelers generate more qualified appointments and close higher value projects. Now, at this point, we've worked with over 100 remodelers across the US, helping them grow from 6 and 7 figures to multi-7 figures and beyond. So let's just go and jump straight into it. Okay, so let's get straight into it with how to get high quality remodeling leads in 2026 and also close more jobs this holiday season. Now, most remodelers think that they have a marketing problem. They think that the reason they're not able to get enough high quality leads is because of a marketing problem, which is, in essence, it's completely wrong. And what they truly have is an offer problem. Now, the remodeling industry is just getting tougher and tougher every single year. And if your marketing in 2026 is saying things like, "We do quality kitchen and bathroom remodels," then I promise you, you are going to get left behind. So I want to help you fix that, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to create offers that turn people from saying, "let me think about it," into "how do I get started?" So let's dive into a couple of things of what we'll go over today. So what we will cover today is firstly what an offer actually is, why your offer matters more than anything else, the different types of offers that you can use to advertise your kitchen and bathroom or your home remodeling services, how to actually build an offer for your specific business, and then how to use offers the right way without hurting your margins. And then if you stick around till the end of the video, I'm going to give out a free bonus AI tool to help you build your own offers in minutes. It's fantastic at what it does. So stick around to the end and you'll get access to that. So let's get straight into it with what actually is an offer. Now, an offer is a specific promise of a result for a specific person with a clear price and terms. Okay, so we'll break that down a little bit more. So there are 3 components of an offer. There are 3 things that need to be in an offer, right? There's the goods or services that are being provided, which in your case would be the home remodeling services that you're providing. Okay, then there is the payment methods that are accepted. And then there are the terms of the agreement. And when you get into terms, we'll go over a lot of what this can look like. But these are the 3 things that are present in any offer, right? You need a service that is being provided, you need a way of collecting the payment, and then you need the terms of the agreement. So when it comes to making a good offer, what you don't want to say is, "we remodel kitchens." That's a bad offer, right? There's just not really much to that. Instead, what you'd want to say is, "we give you a complete design to installation kitchen remodel in 8 to 10 weeks with a fixed price and 12-month workmanship warranty." Right? There's clearly just a lot more to that, and a lot of it honestly lies in the terms. Right? The terms is what can be used to make the offer so much more appealing and so much more sexy. Now, the goal of a world-class offer is to make an absolute no-brainer for a prospect or a lead to say yes to working with you, to sign the contract, pay your deposit, and say yes to working with you and your services. Right? As Alex Hormozi once said, "make an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no." And I want to walk you through how we can actually do that in this video. Okay? So a good offer is a valuable offer. And to understand what value is and how we actually create value, there are 4 drivers of value. Okay, first you have the dream outcome, which is the outcome that someone is looking at achieving through working with you, through buying your service or your product. So in this case, the dream outcome for one of your customers would be their kitchen being remodeled, right? It is the transformation that they get to have in their kitchen. Next is the perceived likelihood of achievement. So how likely do they think that you can, how likely do they think they can get that dream outcome through working with you? Okay, we then also have the time delay, which is how long is it going to take them to have that dream outcome realize? And then there's the effort and sacrifice of how much effort and sacrifice is it going to take them to achieve that dream outcome, okay? So our goal when we're creating a valuable offer is we want to increase the dream outcome, and we want to increase the perceived likelihood of value, and we want to decrease the time delay and decrease the effort and sacrifice that it takes for someone to achieve that outcome. And just as a little sneak peek, most of what we actually want to be leveraging in the remodeling industry in particular is the effort and sacrifice one. And then we can also do a lot around the perceived likelihood of achievement as well, okay? But those are sort of like the main levers that we're going to be pulling here today, and I'll walk you through exactly how we do that. And by the way, particularly when it comes to like holiday objections of we're just too busy right now, whatever, most of that actually lies in the effort and sacrifice. So this is actually going to be the main lever to pull to get more jobs coming in over the holiday period, when people are going to be having family around for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, when they're just looking to hold off on moving forward for now. You can actually influence all of that through just making the effort and sacrifice by diminishing the effort and sacrifice on their side, right? So let's get into why is an offer actually important. So for this, we're going to jump over to a document I've prepared, and we're just going to go and run through all this, okay? Let me just quickly zoom in on this a little bit. So let's kick off. Why is an offer actually important? Your offer is going to do more heavy lifting in your advertising than your targeting, than your ad creative and your ad copy. Basically, the images and the words that you use in your targeting, than you use in your marketing, and also who it is you're trying to target, right? The offer is the biggest lever that you can pull to actually start attracting more of the right people that you actually want to work with. So for an example, 2 remodelers can run the exact same ad. If we talk in the context of a meta ad on Facebook and Instagram, they can run the exact same ad with the same budget, advertising to the same audience with the same platform. It can be the exact same image or video in the ad, the exact same copy. But if one of those ads is just saying free estimate, call us today, which again is pretty bland, like there's not a huge amount to that. And then the other is saying, hey, book a kitchen refresh package, get new cabinets, countertops, and backsplash installed before XYZ date with 0% financing and a clean home guarantee. Who do you think is going to win? It's going to be the second guy every time, right? Because it's just a much more attractive offer. He's done a much better job of actually pulling these value levers here, right? Making sure that all these value levers are getting pushed in the right direction, right? If we look at, even the 0% financing option here, right? That has reduced their effort and sacrifice, right? Because they're not having to put as much money down up front. So it is less sacrifice on their end to actually achieve this dream outcome, right? If we look at the clean home guarantee, right, that is essentially increasing the perceived likelihood of achievement, of knowing that they are guaranteed to finish with a clean home at the end of the transformation. Now, good offers are going to do 3 things for you. They're going to increase your response rate, which means you're going to get more people clicking, you're going to get more people calling, you're going to get more people opting in. Basically, you're just going to get more outputs with the same amount of inputs when you have a better offer in your advertising and your marketing. It's going to help you have a better close rate because it's easier to say yes when the deal is clear and de-risked, right? And even if we look at the difference here, where it's like, hey, free estimate, call us today, that's going to be a much harder estimate to close than if you're able to go in with an offer of 0% financing, clean home guarantee, installed before XYZ date, etc. Right? So they're easier deals to close. And you can also increase your average project size because you can start packaging things instead of just haggling on a quote. Right? And if you're able to package things into a unique name, such as like the kitchen refresh package, you can essentially mechanize it and make it sound more unique, make it sound more valuable, so you can sell it for more. You can increase your prices. So if your pipeline feels dead at the moment, there's a good chance that your offer is just too boring or too vague. And trust me, I know a lot of people who are just sort of going down this free estimate route. You see it in a lot of meta ads, and it does work. But there are better ways to do it where, again, you can be more efficient, you can have more leverage, which is getting more outputs with the same number of inputs. So let's get into some examples of different types of offers, okay? And these are the offers that are actually going to work for you, for your industry, and then I'll go through and break down how you can actually use them. So the first one is the anti-offer. This is where you position yourself as the premium option and you sort of go down the route of saying, we don't do gimmicks, we don't buy into any of this offer stuff. So the anti-offer is where you deliberately don't run a sexy deal. You don't have any discounts, you don't have any bonuses, you don't have any free this, free that, anything like that. You don't have any guarantees. Your offer is basically just we're the high-end, fully booked company that people come to when they care more about getting it done right than getting it done cheap. Now, here's the thing, right? This anti-offer can work. but it only works for a very specific type of company that's looking for a very specific type of outcome or result. So when you'd use it is when you're already busy or you're close to capacity. What you don't want to be doing, if you're going for this anti-offer, this is essentially when you're making to look sure that you're willing to pay more for a lead or for an appointment or to close a job, but you just want to focus more on quality rather than quantity. Now, again, if you're still if you've got space in your books, if your crews aren't fully booked out right now, I would not recommend that you go down this route. Okay, this is sort of like the 1% of people who are fully booked out. And then again, you want fewer but better leads. Now, again, for the most part, for majority of you watching this won't be the offer to run. Okay, but this is an option that you can have, right? And you can also use this if you're looking to build a strong brand. In fact, I'd actually change that. I'd say if you already have a strong brand, this offer can work very well. If people in your market know who you are, you've got a lot of online presence, right? You're getting a lot of referrals coming through. This is when the anti-offer works really well with like a more bottom of funnel, with people who know who you are, they know what you do. If you don't have as much recognition in your market, don't go for this option because it's just not going to convert as well. You're going to end up paying a lot more to close jobs and you're just not going to get the same return on marketing, right? Particularly if you're looking to keep your cost of marketing below 15%. For the majority of companies, this just doesn't make sense. But to make it work, right, you want to be ultra specific on who you are for and who you're not for. If you want to go down the anti-offer route, list out your qualifications, list out your requirements, and be very clear about them. Know what your worth is and hold your ground on that. So you can say, what your starting price is for your projects. You can say for homeowners who plan to stay 5+ years and want their forever kitchen or whatever it may be, whatever your requirements are for your dream customer, you just call them out really clearly in your ad in the anti-offer, right? And again, you're not really trying to do anything to incentivize them necessarily. You're just showing yourself as the premium option. So to do this, you'd want to lean heavily on portfolio photos and video walkthroughs, reviews and testimonials. You can even use messaging to show how in demand you are, right? By saying you're booked out X weeks or X months in advance. And then in the rest of the marketing process with this, you'd want to use your lead form or your video sales letter or your ad copy or whatever to filter out the people who you don't work with. So in the case of it being price shoppers, you can be asking budget questions. Make sure you change the language you use as well to actually cater if you are looking to get into more of that high-end audience. Change the language you use in your ads to speak to those people, right? Don't talk about cheap or anything like that. Talk about the investment because that's the sort of language that they use when you're looking at those more sort of premium markets, okay? You can also get really deep into qualifying on their timeline or whatever that may be, what their home valuation is. Right, and really the anti-offer is when you want quality over quantity. You're not dangling carrots, you're not doing anything to try and really push people over the line. Your craftsmanship and proof are the offer. Now, big caveat here again, this is not something that most people should be using. Right, this is for the 1% of companies who are they've got that strong brand reputation. They're basically already fully booked out. For most of you, this won't be the right move, okay? But this is an option. The next type of offer we have is the supplementary products offer. And this is where you stack perceived value without training people to expect discounts. Right, to make an offer, it doesn't just mean you have to discount your price and say, hey, get 20% off. There are other things you can do to increase the dream outcome, to make sure that you're delivering a better outcome to people. So this is where you attach a tangible, desirable product to the project instead of dropping your price or chopping your price down, right? And this is specifically for products. So an example of this could be, book a full kitchen remodel or get a full kitchen remodel and get a free smart fridge up to X dollars in value. So you could give people a $3,000 smart fridge if they spend at least $50,000 on a full kitchen remodel, right? Or it could be, any sort of product that you can add on top that increases the perceived value of what you're actually doing without any significant cost to you, right? Another example is sign off on your master bathroom remodel and will include a free heated towel rail and rain shower upgrade, right? So really cheap and easy for you guys for the most part, but it just makes it sound so much more appealing because they're getting bonuses just for moving forward with you. So it's incentivizing them. So when it comes to choosing bonuses that work, you want to be smart with this. You're not just giving away free stuff for the sake of giving away free stuff. You need to be selective with what you actually choose to give away. So choose bonuses that firstly that they align with your ideal client. Okay, if you are serving like the lower end of the market, I mean, maybe you don't want to give away the free smart fridge because maybe that isn't going to be the biggest thing that pushes them across the line. Or if you're targeting a really high end market, maybe you want to make sure that you're giving away a more expensive free smart fridge as an example. Okay, so firstly, you need to get really clear on who is your ideal client and then make sure that this bonus product aligns with them, what they want, and what they'd be interested in. Because otherwise, if you just have a crappy product that you have as the supplementary product, that is not going to care, and then your offer just becomes meaningless, okay? Another thing you want to make sure is that it has a high perceived value but lower cost to you. So you don't want to be giving away something that is going to be a huge loss to you. You want to have something that is high perceived value but low actual cost to you. So it's easy to fulfill, but then it increases the perceived value of the offer by a lot. So when you're doing this as well, make sure you have clear rules or requirements in place. You need to have a minimum project value. You need to have a cutoff date of when they must sign by. And then you also want to have something like a limited quantity where you could say this is only available for the next 5 projects. And this is basically with all of these, you're creating two concepts. One is urgency, which is getting people to move forward with this, right? By having the cutoff date and saying, hey, you need to sign by this date, you're creating urgency so that they have to move forward with the decision by then, or they need to give up the decision. And then by having a limited quantity, you're leveraging a concept called scarcity, which basically means there's only a scarce number or a limited number of resources available for this. So there's only a limited number of projects that will get this bonus offer, right? So instead of a flat discount, you can trade and you can say, $2,000 off for a $1,200 cost fridge. That feels like a 3 to 4K win. Okay, next up we have the supplementary services offer. So this is where you can make the experience feel done for you and premium by adding services on top. So it's similar to the supplementary products offer, except with this, it's supplementary services, right? So you're not giving away stuff, you're just giving away services that solve headaches. So if we look at like the buyer's journey of your customer's journey from when they buy a kitchen with you, there are inevitably going to be some hiccups or some headaches that come up. So what you can do is include these services for free that they would otherwise end up buying or whatever it is. You can add in services that again are low cost, low effort on your end, but can increase the perceived value massively. And as a little bonus here, by the way, you want to frame these as named systems. You want to mechanize them, right? You don't want to give them random freebies. So what you can do, for an example, is a free 3D design and layout session, right? Or instead, if you want to reframe it with a named system, you can call it a design first planning session. Right? Or you can do free, instead of free in-home selections and samples, you can talk about how we bring the showroom to you service. And you can include these all for free if people move forward, right? Instead of, you can add in like a 5-year peace of mind warranty. Again, that's adding an extra service so that people know. And also, if we go back to the value chart here, by the way, that is also helping with their effort and sacrifice. That's what we're doing by adding in a warranty here, is basically taking, or the perceived likelihood of achievement, that's working on the perceived likelihood of achievement by having the warranty in place there, okay? Another thing that you can do is a free professional clean at completion as another service that you add in. And as a bonus here, what you can do is you can partner with a local cleaning company so that you can include this in all of the work you're doing. And then you can also get return work from them if you structure the partnership correctly. Now, in terms of making it sound more sexy when you're including the free service, you want to firstly name the thing, right? You want systems over services. So for example, you don't want just like a free design, you want a layout session, a free 3D design and layout session. You want to attach a real value to it when you're adding this in as an extra service. So, let's say you do the free professional clean at completion, right? You can call it, for example, the move in ready clean, which is naming it. You attach a real value to it saying, hey, this is normally valued at $1,500, right? But this time you're going to get it for free if you move forward. And then, by the way, you'd want to go back to here and make sure you have it tied to clear rules of a minimum project value, a cutoff date, and a limited quantity. But you'd say, hey, if you sign in the next month for a project of at least $30,000, then we're giving the next 5 people a move-in ready clean added bonus. This is normally worth $1,500. And then you can tie it to an outcome. So you're not spending, 5 hours, or you're not spending like weeks after we're done cleaning up your home from the work that we've done. Now, supplementary services here are all about removing effort from the homeowner. So this could be design, choices, cleanup, dealing with trades. The less work that they feel they have to do, the more attractive your offer becomes, right? And again, we're just helping out by decreasing the effort and sacrifice here. Next up, we've got the discount offer. And I always like to give some context to this. The discount offer is good if it's used intelligently, right? We want to use a scalpel here, not a chainsaw. Now, discounts aren't necessarily evil. I don't think they're always the best offer to go for. They're just usually done in quite a lazy way. So instead of 10% off everything, you build fences around the discount so it drives the behavior that you actually want. Okay, so let's go through how to actually structure smart discounts. So firstly, you want to attach it to a minimum, right? Say, hey, you can save $2,500 on projects over $25,000. Don't just say $2,500 on all projects necessarily. You want to attach it to speed as well. Approve your design within 7 days and save $1,500, right? And these are all driving the behaviors that you want to see in your buyers. So if people are giving you objections around, hey, like I want to start after the holidays, then you can say, well, hey, look, if you're starting the next 7 days, right, with a project over $25,000, we'll actually knock $3,000 off for you. And again, you can attach that to the timing as well, off peak. So if you've got times of the year where you're typically slower, then this is where you can use that to actually help fill out those slow periods, is by having this structured discount offer, right? Now, a good discount should reward the behavior that you want more of, which is faster decisions, bigger projects, and off-peak scheduling. Instead of just giving away money for free, make sure you're being tactical with how you're giving away discount, sorry. Next, we have the financing offer, right? So this is where you can turn a 40K no into a financed maybe. So most homeowners don't have remodel money just sitting there all the time, particularly when it comes to holidays and tax time, right? They wanted to put their money towards gifts or making sure they're going to be able to pay their taxes, etc. So financing is a huge tool when it comes to reframing the decision from a giant lump sum to a manageable monthly payment. So what we're doing here, if we go back to the value equation here, is we are lowering the effort and sacrifice on their end by having a financing option in place so that they aren't having to sacrifice paying their taxes, and they aren't having to sacrifice buying presents for their family or their kids or whatever it may be. So this is where, again, we're really looking to create more value in the offer that we're presenting to people. So again, we want to make it feel safe and attractive. Lead with the monthly number, not the total. So if you go on with the financing option, again, you first want to approve them for financing. But you can say, hey, you can get it as low as $495 a month with approved financing options. You can layer it on top of a clear package, right, which is design, materials, installation, all just for one fixed monthly payment. And then you can also use it to crush any time-based objections that you're getting, which is plan now, build after Christmas, and lock in today's rates with low monthly payments. So it's basically like a start now or sign now, start later, once it's a better time for them, but they can start paying off that financing option now. Now, just a little bit of advanced nuance here. Financing isn't just about 0% interest. It's about making the decision feel emotionally possible, turning it into a right now instead of a maybe someday. Okay, so again, this is sort of like it's the icing on the cake. This isn't like the only way that you want to lead into this, because if you're in your marketing or you're talking about a 0% down financing, then you're just going to end up with like a lot of broke homeowners coming through, essentially. And we'll get into more of how to help out with that in a second, okay? Let's get into the sixth offer tool that you can use here, which is guarantees. Now, again, a little bit of a caveat here. You want to use guarantees as a safety net, not as some like circus trick, right? Guarantees are used to reduce fear around one specific nightmare scenario. So what we're trying to do here is guarantees can really be used to help with all of this, right? Guarantees can be used to increase the perceived likelihood of achieving the dream outcome. They can be used to decrease the time delay. They can be used to decrease the effort and sacrifice that is perceived, okay? However, guarantees are totally overused now, and most people, if they are too crazy of a guarantee, they just don't believe them anymore. So instead of promising the moon with your guarantees, you want a guarantee that is specific. You're covering off one clear risk. It's believable, right? It sounds like something that you'd actually honor, and it's painful enough to mean something, but it's not business ending. Okay, so here are some examples of guarantees that you can use. We've got timeline guarantees. So you could say, if we go more than 7 working days over our agreed completion date for reasons in our control, we'll credit you $100 for each extra day. Again, you're decreasing the perceived effort and sacrifice, particularly over the holiday period when people are wanting projects done before Thanksgiving, before Christmas. This can be such a powerful one to use where you can be like, hey, I'm so confident that we can finish within your timeline that if we actually go over that, I'll start crediting our cost back to you. Right? It's very specific with the risk you're covering. It's believable, and it's painful enough to you that, you actually want to fulfill on it. You also have a clean home or respect guarantee, which is if we don't leave your home broom clean at the end of each day, we'll pay for a professional cleaner. Right? And again, this is lowering the perceived effort and sacrifice on their end. You can have a change order transparency guarantee. So you're going to say, hey, no surprise extras. You'll approve any cost change in writing before we do the work, or else we'll cover it for you. Now, one thing I like to say is you want to think of guarantees like airbags, right? Guarantees are not the reason that you buy the car, but they help you feel safer saying yes. So they should support an existing strong offer. Guarantees should not be the entire offer, right? And actually now I want to walk you through how to start building your offers together. And this is what we call the offer stack. So in practice, there's a lot of different offers here. You're not just going to go and pick one and run with it, okay? What you want to do to build a truly good offer, an offer that people would feel stupid saying no to, is you want to stack different offers on top of each other. Right, so what you want is one clear core package that you're trying to sell, or you could do this for each of the main services that you offer. You want one incentive lever, which could be a supplementary product or a service product, a supplementary product or a supplementary service, or you could even include a smart, and again, emphasis on the word smart here, but a smart discount. You want one affordability lever, which could be financing options or a payment structure, and then you want one safety net, which would be the guarantee. Okay, now you can actually go ahead and start putting in multiple incentive levers if you want, but it can just get a little bit confusing and a little bit messy. If you say, hey, get a kitchen with us today and you're going to get a free fridge and you're going to get free countertops and we'll give you a car, and it just gets too much, right? So this is why I say keep it clear, one clear core package, one incentive lever, one affordability lever, one safety net. Okay, and that's what turns We Do Quality Remodels Call Us for a Quote into an offer that is so good that homeowners just can't ignore them. So again, this is going to be the really big part, is using one of each of these, okay? Now let's go into how to best use offers. A rule of thumb is one main offer at a time. Do not cram 6 offers into one ad because again, you're going to overwhelm people, you're going to confuse people. So pick one clear hook and build around it. Match the offer that you're promoting to the season and capacity that you're currently facing. So if it's slower months for you, use financing and discount angles. If it's busy months, you can look at using anti-offer or premium service offers to raise the quality of people coming through. Make it ridiculously clear. If someone can't repeat your offer in one sentence, it's too complicated. Again, we don't want to get into the thing where it's like, hey, buy a kitchen remodel and get 0% financing and a free fridge and a free car and, we'll clean your house and we'll cook you dinner every night. It's just too much. So here's an example. Kitchen refresh package with free 3D design and 12-month warranty. Super clear, right? And then carry the offer all the way through. So whatever the offer you come up with is, it should be showing at all different stages of your marketing process or your sales process, okay? So this should be in your ad, in your landing page, in your email or SMS follow-up, in your sales call or in your demo or in your estimate, okay? And then make sure to track and rotate. Run an offer for 30 to 60 days at least, and then look at your numbers. Track what is your cost per lead, what is your cost per appointment, what is your close rate, what is your average project size, what are your gross margins, right, on those offers that you've been doing. And then adjust. Keep what works, kill what doesn't, and then over time, when you iterate and do this for long enough, you're going to end up with a bulletproof offer, okay? And then once you run an offer like that for long enough, that's where you can start building up a ton of brand equity, right, and recognition in your market. And then longer term, you can start leaning into more of this anti-offer approach here. Where are we? There we go. You can start leaning into more of the anti-offer approach. Okay. So that is a little bit about offers and how to all make them work. Now, I have built out a free AI tool to help you build your own offers. It has been trained up on all the trainings I've done. It's trained up on the offers that we've helped create. And look, a lot of you may be sitting here thinking I don't have the time to build our offers myself. I understand all this, I just don't have the time to do this. So this AI offer builder is specifically for you, right? It is trained on remodelers. It's just going to ask you a few simple questions about your business, the kind of projects you want, what your margins are, what actual levers that you can pull to increase the value of your offer. And then from there, it's going to instantly generate 3 to 5 custom offer ideas. It's going to give you suggestions on how to position each offer. And then it's also going to give you example ad angles and headline ideas that you can use to plug into your marketing. Now, it is completely free. Okay, and all you have to do is click the link below this video and you can open up the AI agent, answer the questions, and you're going to have new offers that you can test in the next 10 minutes. So again, there's a link in the description of this video. It's going to take you to a page. You have to put in your email just because I want to be able to email you over more cool tools that I will be releasing. I'm going to be putting out a lot more tools designed to help you streamline and improve your marketing processes, close more deals for higher values more often. So again, put in your email and you can get direct access to this free AI agent who can help you create offers. And I'll quickly pull it up and give you an example of how it works. So when you have it pulled up, once you get access to it, you're just going to load and it's going to look like this. You're just going to click this help me create an offer button and it's going to go through and spit out a bunch of questions that will get you to answer just so it can have full context on your situation and help you create the best offers for your specific business. Okay. So all you have to do is just go through and answer these questions. And again, it's going to spit out offers for you, give you examples on how to position them, and give you ad angles, headline ideas that you can just plug and play into your marketing. It couldn't be more simple than this. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, what I'd love you to do, go ahead, subscribe and like the video. It helps me a ton and it helps YouTube show this video to more people so that we can help more people build better offers. And then what I'd also love you to do, go ahead and comment the offer that you're going to create in the comments below. I'm going to go through and personally read each of them. I'll give you some feedback on your offer, give you some ideas on how you can improve it, and then I might even go through and review these in another video. But either way, like and subscribe, and then leave a comment with your thoughts and the offer that you're going to create, and I hope you found this useful. Now, if you own a remodeling company, you're doing over $500,000 a year, and you're looking to get some help with getting more qualified leads in and closing more jobs, there's going to be a link in the description where you can go and book in a project generation call with me or my team. It's a completely free call where we'll hop on, we'll help you map out a game plan to help you close more deals for your business and see if we can help out with that. So again, just go ahead, click the second link in the description and you can book in a time with me or my team to speak about that. But that is all. Talk to you later.